Hi, I'm Melissa from Energy Inc., makers of TED, the Energy Detective. Here I have the TED 1000 series, and here's our newer TED 5000 series. Congratulations on your new purchase. Today I'm going to show you how to install and set up a TED 5000C. Once you receive your package, open up the box. Inside you should first find an installation manual as well as a quick start guide. In addition, there should be three main component boxes: a TED 5000 display, an MTU and CT box, and a gateway box. In the TED 5000 display box, you'll find one power supply, one charging stand, and one optional wireless display. In the gateway box, you'll find one gateway and one Ethernet cable. And in the MTU box, you'll find one measuring transmitting unit, also known as an MTU, one pair of current transformers, also known as CTs, and one power cable. We're now ready to install the TED 5000. Now, as the installation manual clearly states, although installation is very quick and simple, we do recommend that an electrician or some other certified individual installs the unit in the breaker panel due to electrical hazards. Andy, one of our engineers, is here to assist.
Thanks, Melissa.
The first step is to turn off all power to the circuit breaker panel by turning off the main breaker or main switch. The second step is to remove the circuit breaker panel cover. Before installing the MTU, note the 6-digit ID number, as you will need to know this number when setting up your software. Even though the main breaker has been turned off, please note that the conductors feeding the main breaker are still electrically charged. For ease of installation, once you unravel the power cable, bend the tinned wire at a 90-degree angle. It's now time to connect the black and red wires from the MTU power cord to a spare 2-pole circuit breaker in the panel. Note that the black and red wires must create a 240 circuit. They cannot be connected to circuit breakers on the same phase. Going down the breaker panel, every other breaker is either A or B phase. Next, connect the white wire from the MTU to the neutral bus on the panel. Now that the MTU is installed, it's time to install and connect the current transformers. The CTs must be installed with the red polarity dots facing toward the source of power, in this case the utility meter. Making sure the red polarity dot is facing the correct direction, clamp one CT over each conductor. Next, connect the CTs and power cable to the MTU by plugging the plastic mating connectors together. Note that the connectors are polarized and can only be inserted one way. Do not force. Next, determine the best location to mount the MTU. Choose a location where it will not interfere with existing equipment or wiring. The MTU may be attached using double-sided tape if allowed in your jurisdiction, or with sheet metal or machine screws. Next, arrange and tie wrap all wiring in a neat and tidy manner. The breaker panel installation is now complete, and you may turn the power back on. The MTU will initially blink approximately 10 times when power is first applied. After this, it will blink every few seconds. This is showing that it's transmitting or receiving data. The breaker panel installation is now complete. Before replacing the breaker panel cover, let's first install the gateway. When choosing an outlet for the gateway, make sure that it's the only device plugged in and it's not a plug strip. Plug the gateway directly into the outlet. Once you've connected the Ethernet cable to the gateway, connect the other end of the Ethernet cable into your wireless router. It's now time to set up the wireless display. Temporarily, for setup reasons, choose a location within close vicinity of the gateway. Plug in the power cord and connect the power cord into the display charging stand. Next, on the back of the wireless display will be a 6-digit product ID code. Write down the 6-digit number, as you will need it later when doing the software setup. Insert the display. Now that we've installed the gateway, we're ready for our footprint software setup, which is step 4 in our TED 5000 Quick Start Guide. Now, keep in mind that the software is actually embedded on the gateway, but we're going to install a program that will help locate and set up the gateway on our local area network. If you received a CD with your TED 5000, it'll include a utility installation program, as well as a quick start guide and a troubleshooting guide. If you received the CD, go ahead and insert it into your computer. If you didn't receive a CD or you have a Mac computer, don't worry. You can download all the data online. Once you've downloaded the TED 5000 installation utility, click the TED 5000 installer button on your desktop. Once the screen pops up, It will say TED 5000 installation utility. It will show a search bar searching for your gateway. This may take a few minutes. Once your TED 5000 gateway is found, select the device and click Launch in Browser. Once you select the gateway, this will open the Footprint software program. You'll see the live dashboard. Start by clicking Edit in System Settings Wizard. Go through each tab and enter in the information, such as the time and date. If you already have an internet connection, you will already be synchronized with your date and time. If not, you can uncheck the Synchronize Gateway with Time Server tab and manually enter in the date and time. Next, you can go to the System Layout. Make sure you enter in the correct number of MTU and displays that you have. On the Product Identification tab, the Gateway Product ID will already be entered in. It's extremely important that you enter in the 6-digit product ID for any MTUs and your wireless display. Note that you can also change operational, display, and footprint settings. Once you have entered in all the product IDs, click Write to Device and click the Update tab. Make sure that the system completely updates before clicking Finish. The Footprints dashboard should now be populated with data. Now that we've properly set up the Footprint software, we can look to the lights on the gateway to ensure that everything is working correctly. The light on the side will indicate that the MTU that we installed earlier is properly communicating with the gateway. The light should blink consistently every few seconds. The light on the front of the gateway indicates the communication between the wireless display and the gateway. If you have a wireless display and it's properly working, the light will blink every few seconds. If you do not have a wireless display, the light will eventually steadily become green. The blinking light on the front of the display will indicate that it's properly communicating with the gateway. We've now successfully installed and set up my TED 5000, and I can already see my kilowatt usage. If you don't see any data at this point, make sure you check for 2 common mistakes. First of all, make sure all the product IDs are entered in the Product Identification tab. Secondly, make sure the gateway is plugged directly into an outlet and not in a plug strip. I can now even customize my TED. I can enter in my utility rates using the Utility Settings Wizard. I can also create a load profile for my HVAC, pool pump, and other devices in my home. Great! I can now see how much usage I'm using in both kilowatt and dollar amounts. I'm ready to save